Here we have verse 38 of the 5th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus, as John pursues this story, is in a conversation with the religious leaders. The religious leaders, according to Jesus, do not see nor do they hear this truth that is connected to Christ, a truth they should recognize because Jesus has the official attesting witnesses, his own testimony and also that of heaven itself, that has confirmed the identity of Christ and the veracity of his truth claims by virtue of signs and wonders that have been given, and yet they don't see them. They refuse to recognize them, and Jesus now cuts to the heart of the matter as to why it is that they don't recognize it, continuing in verse 38, Kai and ton logon in the accusative, singular, masculine, and the word, autou, of him, referring back to God, the Word of God. Uk, the negation, has a kappa before a vowel. Uk eketa. This is the second person plural, present active indicative. You have, now it's negated, you do not have. So Jesus says the word of him, the Word of God, you do not have in humen. In the preposition takes the dative. This is the second person plural, dative, pronoun. So the word of him you do not have in yourselves. You do not have this word abiding in you. And this is menonta. This is from meno, to abide, to remain. This is a participle, aorist, masculine, singular, accusative. It goes along with the word. So the word is also masculine accusative, and this therefore is describing the word. You do not have the word remaining or abiding in you. And that's the point Jesus is driving at here. And why not? Why don't they have the word abiding in them? It's because hoti, hon, relative pronoun, accusative, masculine, whom, we might translate it, apestelen. This is from apostello. We've seen this several times, of course, along the way. It means to send, but it means to send with a particular responsibility, with a commission. It's the root of the word apostle, of course, and is used somewhat frequently in the New Testament. So the one whom, that one, ekenos, referring to God, the one that God sent, tuto, this one, dative, the masculine, dative, singular here. This one you do not believe. Upistuata, second person plural, present active indicative. You do not believe this one. This is interesting. It's not believing in, that would be ace tuton, but rather this is the dative. You do not believe this one in the sense that you don't believe the things that are being said by him. You don't believe the things that are being said about him. The humes present here, of course, is the nominative of the second person pronoun. It's the nominative form of that word. So there's some emphasis in it. You do not believe this one. The reason they don't believe is because they don't have the word in them. The reason they don't acknowledge the signs is because they don't have this word in them. They are blind. They are hard-hearted. They're refusing to acknowledge what is evidently the case. And that, of course, is the heart of Jesus' criticism of them. It's the reason they don't accept the testimony about him. It's the reason they, in fact, don't recognize who he truly is.